It's perpetually Tuesday, to quote the one and only Shawn DePaz.
Every day is Tuesday when we're kind of sad.
Hey,
We're not sad.
No, we're not.
Happy Thursday.
Tuesday in Reno.
Yeah, there you go. It's Thursday in Reno.
what are we doing?
It's Thursday in
What
Reno.
are we so?
Tuesday in Reno.
This is the best day ever.
No, it's not.
I'm slightly.
Woo!
Today is not the best day ever.
Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show,
Yesterday
brought to you by
was.
the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, and even leave a spicy 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. I'm Anthony
Yeah, you
Totri,
are.
joined as always by Shane Diefenbach,
Yeah, I am.
Shawn DePaz,
Yeah, he is.
Gentleman. How are y'all doing?
I feel gentle.
Feeling scrumdiddly.
You feel gentle? Do you feel like a
gentle
man?
Do I feel like a man? Yeah. Yeah, I suppose. I kind of always do. Had Burrito Express today.
Yes.
Mhm.
There was a
Great.
point where we were, and I don't want to get straight into an ad read, but we were
can.
Knock it out. Why not?
we're on the sideline for practice today, and we're probably halfway through, and I remember turning to Shawn, and I'm like, you know what would smack right now? Sitting in a more furniture. These are the exact words that
he
came
did.
out.
It sounded like an ad read. I was like, what are you doing
we
right
were
now?
sitting in a more furniture recliner, eating a Burrito Express burrito, watching March Madness. Like the words that left my mouth. So I had to stop at Burrito Express, get some for the boys on the way back to the office.
Yeah.
Guys, Burrito Express, if you haven't checked it out, they got locations all across the valley. It hits every day of the
It's
week.
BOGO today.
Yes, go buy one, get one, do it. And if you didn't know, they got themselves 2 new NIL athletes. One in Elijah Badger, ASU football star. The other, ASU softball star, Jazz Hill, if you didn't know. Guys, Burrito Express, get it in your mouth. Follow them on social at Burrito EXP. What is this?
It's a Burrito EXP t-shirt.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, they were giving
Oh
out
my
t-shirts
God. Yeah,
today.
these are, this
Um,
is the material this is made
Yeah,
of.
Elijah sprinted off the field afterwards.
Did he?
And I have to assume he was sprinting. to
I
Burrito
imagine.
Express.
Burrito Express, get it in you.
Get it in you.
Also, and this is not a lie, stopped at Circle K to fill up on gas on
Did
the
you?
way back. Yes, like you said yesterday, we live and breathe our sponsors
That is true.
because we
We
love
do.
them. Circle K, goated. Just as goated as Burrito Express, guys. We're excited to partner with them. And if you didn't know, we're kicking things off with an amazing giveaway opportunity. Text PHNX to 31310 for an opportunity to win a $500 gas card. Guys, Circle K, they got the snacks, they got the gas, they got the love. All for you. See show notes for more details.
I got the love.
They got the love.
Damn.
Just,
It's
you know,
a special gas.
feels like
station.
home
It does.
when you go to Circle K,
It does.
depending on where you grew up, to be honest with you, because every home's different. So, ASU, they got a basketball game tomorrow against TCU, or TC Who, I should say. Last time, the Horned Frogs played in a postseason game. What happened?
They lost to Arizona.
I was going more on them losing to Georgia.
TCU just athletics. Okay.
Yeah, TCU Athletics.
Well, still, they lost both of them.
They're
ASU's
losers.
defense comparable to Georgia.
I would say so.
Yeah, TCU also got some defense as well. Getting into a preview, we had somebody at us on social media being like, all the previews, this stupid fucking stool today is just not doing it. That at us on social media and was talking about all the previews they've seen have already looked past ASU, and like TCU is 4.5-point favorites. They should easily beat ASU. The only thing that I've seen in terms of favoring ASU is the fact that ASU is in rhythm. They played a couple nights ago. TCU, obviously, about a week removed from their last game. The last time they played, they lost in the Big 12 tournament. Looking at TCU, this is a team that finished the season 22nd in the AP Top 25. They're one of 7 tournament teams from the Big 12. Everybody has kind of talked about the gauntlet that every team really in that conference has had to go through. They were 9-9 in Big 12 play.
So wild.
Yeah. Just taking a look at this TCU team, we'll obviously get into a little bit more of the numbers and the players as we go on. But from your perspective, Shawn, what about TCU intrigues you?
Like in a positive way, or like just
whatever you're feeling.
I mean, it is always going to be interesting to see kind of how like how ASU does against non-conference teams. Like it almost doesn't seem like it matters how good the other team is if it's not in the Pac-12. But like you said, the Big 12 was a gauntlet. It was the best conference in basketball this year. So I'm just interested to see kind of what the game looks like. Like it's always interesting. Non-conference play is always fascinating to me because you don't really know what you're getting yourself into. So I guess it's the great unknown.
Mm-hmm. And ASU with only one loss this season on a neutral site.
Yep.
What about you?
Conference opponent.
They got
conference
a guy.
opponent,
They got a really good guy who U of A should be familiar with, Mike Miles Jr.
I thought you were going to say Max Duggan.
No, 17 points a game. Just can shoot the crap out of the ball. Almost shooting 50% from the field as a guard. It's pretty ridiculous. So got to slow him down, but I think you have the size advantage. Warren can definitely dominate in this game, and this is a tough matchup. Being an 11 seed, they're a very, very good 5, or 6, but they're beatable for sure, 100%.
One thing that excites me about this matchup is you've got two different squads in my mind. I think you look at ASU and they're a team that's built up of guys, obviously, that haven't necessarily been to the tournament, but they've got a good group of veteran leadership and youth, right? They've got guys that have been a part of this program in a DJ Horne, a Luther Muhammad, and a Jamiya Neal, and you've got the transfers that we've talked about in Warren, Dev, and Dez. You've got those older guys. You got some young bucks, whether you get Austin Nunez back, Duke Brennan, and I already mentioned Jamiya. And then you look at TCU, and they're kind of the opposite. They've got a bunch of guys that this is TCU's second year now that they've made the tournament, and they're a little bit older. Mike Miles Jr., Shane, the star that you mentioned on the Horned Frogs, he's a junior. Damian Baugh, who we brought up last night, he's a senior. Emmanuel Miller, he's a senior. Chuck O'Bannon Jr., he's a senior, right? So they've got a bunch of guys that at the end of the day, this might be it for them.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be at TCU or in general, like they go play at a different college, like they're going to leave it all out on the line. I think you're going to get two very hungry teams going into tomorrow night's game. Yes.
I need to. Did you just ASU us when you're only up by, 1 point to Princeton at halftime?
Immediately after saying that Arizona is in trouble.
Yeah.
Which they are, because again, they are only up by 1 to Ivy League school Princeton.
Charles O'Bannon, as you mentioned, last time they played U of A, or last time we played in the postseason was against U of A, 23 points. Emmanuel Miller had 10. Lampkin, who's not with the team anymore, had 20 and 14. And then Mike Miles, of course, had 20. But outside of that, 6 points for Baugh and 1 point for PB. No one else.
Yeah.
That is wild.
You got to be looking for a Warren game here, I think. Just obviously with the absence of Lampkin. Or I guess not a Warren game, but just a maybe like a Warren Frankie game. Just see them produce in the paint, I guess is what I'm getting at. Obviously, Warren is quite tall, so we should be able to do that. But
Warren is
we've seen Frankie be able to get to the basket. We saw him make one incredible layup, like high off the glass last night. And he can do that throughout the game. That is, I think, a recipe for success.
Yeah. JJ in the chat, 2 senior-led teams. Taking a look at some of the other numbers here, when you look at TCU, they're a team, their net ranking is 28, their KenPom ranking is 26, and then in terms of offensive efficiency, they're 52nd, defensive efficiency, they're 20th. I think a big thing that we talk about and everybody really talks about in terms of ASU is how good their defense is. TCU is no slump when it comes to defense either. Compared to ASU's defensive efficiency ranking is 29, so TCU actually has a higher ranking there. And in terms of offensively, not great. The Sun Devils at 133, but none of that really matters because we saw how good this team can be when they are playing efficient, team-oriented offense, right? If you get anywhere near a performance like you got against Nevada, Saul, U of A through and through, said in the office, this team could beat anybody.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We've been saying that all year. They can beat anybody when they play that well. But the biggest problem is that they don't always play that well. And they very rarely play that well consecutively. So that's the big question. But, I mean, it feels different. We'll see. Maybe someone will write an article, give them motivation. But this is not going to be Nevada. Like it's a significantly tougher opponent. With, like you mentioned, I think an extra bit of motivation considering how old a lot of these guys are and how it ended last year, and the fact that one of their guys transferred immediately before the Pac-12 or the Big 12 tournament and their tournament run. Like none of that can sit well with them. So I'm sure they have plenty of motivation in their own right.
You said it feels different. What about it feels different?
What about this ASU team feels different? Like right now, I mean, what they did yesterday was unlike something we had seen before. Like it was it was just different. And I mean, it's different because ASU has not won, as Bobby hadn't gotten past that point before. So it just feels like there's something different about this team. I can't really put it into words, to be honest, but I just have a little more confidence. I'm not going into this game feeling like it is a loss, like I think I would at other points.
Would you guys take these three teams like against the field to win the tournament? Houston, Tennessee, and Alabama, if you could.
Houston, Tennessee, Alabama to win the tournament?
To win the tournament against anybody else.
I would take the field.
I mean, Houston, Alabama.
You would take the field?
I would take the field.
I mean, it's
okay, but
I understand why you would, but like I had Alabama winning, and I have a future on Houston.
Why have Texas winning?
No, I know. For the sake of the argument, can you say yeah?
Sure.
Those are the top three teams in opponent field goal percentage. ASU, 13. They're up there with League Company.
Yeah.
So you have to play defense. You just have to keep playing your defense, and TCU might get hot, but they might go cold. We saw Nevada go cold last night.
Yeah, and I mean the reality is they don't need to play that well to beat teams. They don't need to play as well as they did last night to beat teams, offensively at least.
They needed to play that well to win by 20.
Yeah, 100%. But like if their defense is what it's been all year, like they're going to at least be in the game. And if they're in the game for the same reason why the Princeton is a threat to Arizona. Arizona lets teams hang around, and if you let a team hang around, anyone can win. You saw that with Furman today. And so ASU's defense allows them to hang in. So if they play that defense, I like their chances. I like the chance to at least be competitive against any.
Oh, I think they'll absolutely be competitive.
For
this
sure.
This is an ASU team that in none of their non-conference games this season has it looked not competitive.
Well,
okay,
yeah,
that's fair.
I was gonna say.
I've erased that one from my
the San
mind.
Francisco one, and yeah.
It's always erased from my mind.
Another thing to look at: Nevada, who ASU stomped last night, 106th in offensive efficiency. Texas Christian, 114. So,
yeah,
you're not playing a polished machine, but that also has to do with a lot of your opponent playing in the Big 12.
Yeah, fair.
It's definitely going to be an exciting game. Looking at the X Factor, we talk about it every single game. Des had a solid night last night. It wasn't a performance that he needed. It wasn't a game where he needed to go for 27 or for 30 points like he did against USC, right? We talked about how they were able to get consistency from a lot of different places. Do you think that any one player needs to have a 25, 30-point game for ASU to win tomorrow? Or do you think they stand a better chance if they get 15 here, 15 there, 15 there?
I don't think anyone needs to have, like, because I mean, like, yeah, if they do what they did last night without someone having a 25, 30-point performance, they're going to win. So I definitely think, like, you never want to rely on one person, and you have to assume Des is going to get his to a certain extent. But like I said, I think Frankie and Warren could be the answer to this game. So I want it to be a little more well-rounded. I think that gives them a better chance to win, especially because it allows Des and DJ to get a little more rest if, again, like Jamiya is producing, or you can rely on your bigs or Frankie to produce offensively. So yeah, I definitely want to be more relevant, especially if they are able to win this game for the rest of the tournament. Like, you want everyone to kind of be hot, playing good basketball as the tournament goes on. You don't want it to rely, like you see with some of these lower, or some of like the Cinderella teams, where it's just like one guy is kind of going crazy, but as soon as he disappears, it's over.
As much as I want this game to be sexy, I think it's gonna be really ugly.
Yeah, so do I. 100%.
It's gonna be really ugly.
You think it's gonna be all defense?
Yeah,
it's gonna be a grimy one.
It's definitely gonna be fun.
Hopefully, Devin can go Ben Matherin on him.
Carlos in the chat, thanks for covering my tweet.
Yeah.
I was heated this morning, the disrespect. Yeah, so Carlos was one that had us on social media talking about all the previews he's seen. It's just been TCU. Yeah. So
there was a lot of Virginia today too, I'm sure.
I'm gonna ask you guys.
90% of the brackets.
As a team, 90% of the brackets had Virginia?
Yeah.
That's wild. I think my bracket had Virginia, to be honest with you.
Mine had Furman.
Same.
Let's,
to be an ACC
as a
guy.
collective, come up with 5 reasons why ASU can beat TCU tomorrow.
Des Cambridge.
I was just about to start
Devin
naming the starting lineup
Warren
too.
Washington, Frankie Collins, and DJ Horne.
Defense.
Offense.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Like, defensive intensity.
Yeah. The rotations again. It's the bench depth is a
Yes.
huge one, especially if Austin is back.
And there's a lot of teams that I think you're going to see as the tournament goes on. They're going to get exposed because they don't have the bench depth that ASU does. Few teams do at this point in the season, whether it be just from health, recruiting, or whatever. Like, few teams have the ability to go 10 deep
Yeah.
and get scoring from a Jamiya Neal, a Luther Muhammad,
Yeah.
and potentially an Austin Nunez as well. So I will say that, bench depth, defense.
Height.
Yeah,
You're
height.
taller than them.
You are
And
taller.
height and length.
In relation to that, I think a big key will end up being Warren's recent free throw shooting proficiency. Like, it seems like he has been better at shooting free throws recently, and they don't have anyone his size to stop him. There's a possibility that he ends up on the line a lot.
Mhm.
And if he can make his free throws, that can also be crucial.
I believe their tallest player that gets minutes
6'10", I
is
think.
6'9".
6'9"?
Xavier Cork.
I don't think I would have at any point in the season, if we would have said, what is a key to ASU advancing out of the round
Warren
of
Washington
64?
free
Washington free
Warren
throw.
Washington's free throw shooting.
Yeah, I mean, that's what March is about. It's all about matchups.
Fifth reason should just be it's March. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen it happen before. Teams go on crazy runs.
But I feel like this is disrespectful to say this would be a March Madness crazy moment. Like, ASU and TCU are not
if
as
they did
far.
what they did last night,
Yeah,
to
that would
TCU,
be,
that
that
would
would
be
be
crazy.
madness.
Yeah.
For sure.
For
but
them to
if
win
they
by
end up winning
20.
a close one, I don't know that that's necessarily March. I think that's just ASU being ranked lower than they should
You know
be.
what's such a great thing to have in the tournament? A guy like Dez, who just has it.
Yeah.
We've seen him hit a game winner before, and it was a great one.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty confident. Give him the ball in crunch time.
I hope we don't.
Especially
I
if
don't want to
it-
get to that
I
point.
agree.
You
You
want to
don't
get
wanna
down to
do
the
that.
point
I mean,
where
if
it's
you-
down
if
to
you
the
guys-
wire.
as long as
he
he
makes
yeah,
it.
that-
Well,
that-
yeah,
that-
but like
fair enough.
you're gonna be nervy the whole game.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You want to be nervy?
As long as we win, I'm fine with being nervy.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be nervy when it's over, I guess. But Rez is making a good point too. TCU has not played in a minute. Like, ASU has kind of had the benefit of not really having too much time
I
off.
mentioned that on bets. If they win this game and they play on Sunday, they'll play 3 games in 5 days. Like, and that's huge for ASU.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that helps them.
Well, and
For
it
sure.
works perfect as opposed to the Pac-12 tournament, right? Because Bobby talked after the Pac-12 tournament, talking about how this team was able to start off strong against an Oregon State and a USC. But when you're playing a game back to back to back, literally day after day after day, ASU style doesn't really support that long term because they're so winded, they're so exhausted. And to bring up the fact they didn't necessarily have all of their guys at 100% going into the Pac-12 tournament. When you get to the NCAA tournament and you've got games every other day or every couple days, that allows ASU, a team that is quick, and they are the style of they play, or the style of play that they play with is very pushy. It's very aggressive. It's
Yeah.
very like
You saw them
tight defense.
running that press for a lot of the game yesterday, and they started doing it early on. And that's much easier to do when your team has
just a
is
couple days off, but
rested,
still in
yeah.
rhythm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
So yeah. Do you guys have any predictions for this game?
72-59.
Gonna
ASU
say-
wins.
Wow. We got a double-digit victory?
Yep.
Wow. I'll go like a 69-65
Nice.
ASU.
4-point dub.
Yeah.
Give me 65-61 ASU.
4-point dub.
4-point dub. Clean sweep. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not worried tomorrow.
Whoa, okay.
I'm not. First, I feel like they're gonna win.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned.
I was
by
more
my lack of
nervous.
stress, to be quite honest.
You're what?
I'm a little concerned by my lack of stress.
I was more concerned going into the Nevada game.
Well, it's because losing a first 4 game sucks because
Yeah.
then everyone can talk shit. You're not in the tournament, whatever. Now you're in.
Again,
like-
kind of the house money thing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's why.
plus, I just witnessed them shit kick a team and beat them by almost 30
That's
points.
a new one.
Shit kick. What does that mean?
Fucking figure it out. Think about it.
I don't
I
know.
don't wanna think
you
about
step in
that.
shit and then you kick somebody. It's a shit kick to me. You kick somebody in the shitter.
kick. Yeah.
We got an
Yeah.
ad read coming up.
But I think that's why, because they just murdered a team. I feel a lot more confident that they're going to play pretty good basketball.
Yeah, the opening spread was 4.5 for
ASU
TCU.
wins by 1. Book it.
Um,
Let's go.
If you're feeling ballsy and you want to take ASU money line or to cover or really anything as it relates to March Madness, guys, do it on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PHNX because new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets
What?
instantly.
G200.
only at
200.
DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for more details. Jets, how are your bets doing so far as March Madness has begun?
I think I'm 5-1 to start the day.
I
Well,
mean,
5-2 because I took Charleston first half money line.
I've been all
What's the score of
aboard.
that game?
They're down 4 with 4 minutes to go.
Okay, I can live with
You
that.
can get them live on DraftKings at plus 470 right now.
Yeah.
To win?
Yes.
I have San Diego
Crazy.
State, so I'm not, but I was, like I said, I was big on Mizzou. I was big on Furman. And look what happened.
Were you big on Furman? You just pick them in your bracket.
Big on Furman.
Big on Furman. The first time those words have ever been said on this show.
Firm for Furman.
Yep. Minimum age and eligibility
You already
restrictions
said
apply. See show notes for more details. No, I have never said that.
Yeah, you did. No, you already said the
I didn't
disclaimer.
say firm for Furman.
You already said the disclaimer.
Yeah, I'm saying
Okay.
it again.
Yeah, you
I like
wanted
to
to get it in
double-check.
after I said firm for Furman.
Yeah.
So they have to hear that. That's fair.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have to. They could cut it at the first disclaimer. It's really up to Max, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So,
It's actually she's the key.
or Leah. Leah's the key.
Yeah.
Leah, you're the key. Are you going to cut it for the first one?
Actually, she
or
doesn't
second?
cut one. I don't mind. You want to tell them OGs?
Sure.
I feel like Shane hasn't done many ad reads lately.
No, I have. He
You
knows,
just
he
sneak
knows
by him?
OGs better than me.
Well, I feel like you've been using them to help you sleep. I use them for fun, but that's the beautiful thing about OGs. You can use them for a variety of
Multi-purpose.
reasons. They have their sleep time gummies. They have indica, sativa, and if you hadn't heard, I'm not sure where you've been.
Not here.
But they have a new strawberries and cream happy balance gummy. It's a 1-to-1 THC to CBD ratio. You get the high of the THC, the calming effects of the CBD. It's beautiful. It's masterful. It's a match made in heaven. And as always, you can find them at your local dispensary by checking out ogsbrands.com. But as always, you must be 21 or older to enjoy.
I'll double up in the next block.
Okay. Do you, boss? Do you? Let's talk ASU football because it was day 2 of spring ball today. Kenny kept the energy. The team looked good today.
Kent was giving out fist bumps.
Dude,
Not to
Kent-
us, though.
Not to us, just to
Kent's a
players.
legend.
Dude, just wait.
Kent
We
was in
were,
a
we were
three-point
talking
stance
about
at
it.
one
He
point,
was.
yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Dead ass. In a
But-
jersey. In
yeah.
a number 1 jersey.
He was wearing an ASU jersey. And
What?
Yes.
he was at a 3-point stance, and we were like, waiting for 18 years from now when
Kent Dillingham is the starting quarterback of the
under
Arizona
his
State
dad's and his dad's 18th
for his
season.
final season.
Final season. He's coaching here for like 30 years.
No, for Kent's final season.
No.
Yeah, it's going to be Kent's final season.
Oh, he's a one and done?
Oh, yeah.
Fine.
Come on now. He's the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah,
They finally changed
the
the rules.
eligibility.
They talked about changing the rules for Trevor Lawrence. They will change the
Kent
rules for
Dillingham,
Kent.
you are a Buffalo Bill.
Dude.
The Bills will be relocated by then.
Really? Are they
Yeah,
going to San
Literally,
Diego?
go fuck yourself. That was so uncalled for. Are they
Calm
going to
down.
San Diego?
What do we do in that? Are we like
Oh,
we-
man, that would be an all.
Well,
the
it
San
depends.
Diego Bills? That sounds dumb as
Do
shit.
you root for the Bills? Or are you still a
It
Chargers
depends
fan?
what happens.
That is, I don't know, dude. I like that's a tough one.
It
For
depends what ownership group. Like if they change ownership groups and they just, then it's like,
If someone were to buy the Bills and move them, the Bills would be dead to me.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Me. If the
No.
Chargers,
Ooh, actually though, but if the rule is just up to move the Bills, they would also be dead to me.
Yeah.
I think if they left Buffalo, I wouldn't root for them anymore.
Yeah.
I think they'd be done. I wouldn't watch.
what if Josh Allen was still on the team?
They'd become. my
JJ,
enemy.
did you just tell us to hop on the Must Bus?
We
Bro, I'm
drive
driving
the Must
it.
Bus.
I've been driving it since last year.
Dude, I've been
I
literally
am like-
trying to catch up to the Must Bus for weeks.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's like when he's the driver, I'm like the driver in training that's sitting there, kind of just
Yeah.
memorizing the routes, and Totri's the guy who
I'm
got
at
a little late. and
I'm
is-
at the bus stop.
who was like
an
running
hour late
after them,
every
being like,
time.
"Wait, I'm coming!"
Yeah.
And we're bus drivers,
Yeah.
so we ignore him and keep driving.
and soon I'm gonna be done driving the bus because my time's gonna come.
Yeah.
Oh no!
As a
geez.
bus driver.
Are you retiring or you
Yeah,
dying?
I'm retiring.
Okay, cool.
And
Congratulations!
Sean, well, it's not really.
It's a
not a-
forced retirement.
Yeah, I did some pretty bad things.
Oh,
on
you're
that
going
bus.
through some shit.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I'm not going through some shit.
You went through
I
some
I
shit.
said some things that I regret saying on that bus.
Oh,
my.
shit! Unlucky for everybody on the Must Bus.
the Must Bus has some controversies.
But I'm driving the Must Bus. now.
No,
That's
in
a
all
vibe.
seriousness, I love the Must Bus.
I have a
and-
future sitting on them.
Yeah, we both do.
Yeah, to win the Natty. So why not?
ASU football.
Yes.
Yeah. Shawn, you were out there with me.
Yes, I was.
What'd you see?
Just a bunch
Aside
of
from Kent giving fist bumps.
dogs, energy. I mean, there's so much of these practices. You tweeted it out. Kenny helping equipment managers push around equipment.
Yeah, that fired me up.
I was just like, you're not going to find another coach. You're going to find very few other
Yeah.
coaches in the country, regardless of sport, that would do something like that. It's the same energy you saw. It took much later into the practice, but we did get to a point where Kenny yelled at everybody for not running full speed off the field.
Good.
And made him get back on the field and then run off, or I guess other way around, get off the field and run back on.
What was your favorite part of practice today? We'll see if we have the same one.
Ooh, I feel like there's something that I'm forgetting. If there was a moment, so
There is.
I feel like I'm putting on the spot. Other than we're not talking anything Kent Dillingham related.
No,
right?
not anything Kent Dillingham related.
I mean, for me, it was Melquan Stovall making a ridiculous falling catch. He's just
He's got
he's my
glue.
dog.
Glue hands.
What were you talking about?
Blue hands.
Glue hands.
Glue hands. Yeah, no, I know.
Oh,
But what was
blue
the?
hands.
Shamari Simons. When Shamari Simons had an interception, I want to say it was on 7-7 or team. And he was running back.
Oh yes, yeah.
And
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like an Oski, and he was running back, whatever. And at a certain point, he just dropped the ball, he got the interception and ran it back. And Kenny full on sprint, goes and grabs the football, runs to Shamari, gives it back to him, and is like, that's a great play. No double turnover. Hang on to it. Like, hang on to it all the way till you get back off the sideline.
Like
That's
a
amazing.
full, like he was running the 40.
That's
full
amazing.
blown sprint.
And Shamari didn't even notice. Like, Shamari was already like walking back.
Was he fast?
Kenny?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny was hauling.
It was faster than I've ever seen someone run, I think. It was unbelievable. Yeah, it was an awesome moment. I mean, the energy's just been there. I would say the defense won the day today, unlike the first time, because the offense, they were just amazing in the first one. And the first round of one-on-ones, like I tweeted, defense won the majority of the reps. So it was a good practice.
So I asked Shawn, and I texted you guys about this, but I asked Shawn, did you see anything from Troy O'Meara? Big dude. We thought he was Ro Torrance at first because they both wear number 9.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just built huge, wide receiver from Texas. And Shawn said no.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? And I showed him a video that he took. He's jerking in the background.
Yeah, he was dancing.
I mean, that's...
So, yeah, he did do something. And it was pretty freaking awesome.
A lot.
It was pretty hilarious that he was doing that in one-on-one.
And there was one point I mentioned to Shane where the defense won one of the reps, and one of the defensive players on the sideline ran up to the offensive guy that ran the rep and just started doing this on him. Just started dancing on him. It was pretty funny. But I mean, it's just, again, it's just like there's so much energy there. It's such a vibe. The guys seem to actually be enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we joke about it a lot, but like literally at the end of practice, Kenny had his son sitting on his shoulder, walking around, giving like players fist bumps. Like it does feel like there's just kind of like a family element to this, and it's fun to be at these practices.
It was really nice out today, wasn't it?
It
Yeah,
was.
it was.
It was quite nice.
Well, and Kenny said this, and he said it multiple times in terms of like recruiting, right? Like, if you want to work harder than anybody in the nation and you want to have the most fun doing it, you come to Arizona State.
Yep. That's
right?
verbatim what he said probably 100 times.
But like, it's one thing to say it. It is another thing to go out there and find ways to actually make your players have fun, right? It's time, the one-on-ones, even though it only happens twice a practice, it's something little that we were talking about it in terms of like recruits. And again, a whole bunch of them out there today. They can go back, whether they have Arizona State, and this is the first visit that they have out of 50. If they're ever hearing Bruce Buffer do that again, you're going to think of Arizona State now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say it's ruined for me, but it's put something in my head to where like all I think of is like Jalen Conyers going one-on-one with a linebacker, right? Like that's what you hear. And it's funny to stand next to some of the recruits and listen to their reaction. Right, they had X and Isaiah Johnson going one-on-one again, and Isaiah ended up winning the route, but X he still had a phenomenal get off and a phenomenal route, and the recruits over here are still freaking out. They're like, "Oh my, he hit him with this and that!" Like they're just freaking out. They're having a good time, right? So I think
it's like those viral videos you see of people doing one-on-ones just in a random park, and people freaking out. It's like that.
It's literally
awesome.
that. It's a whole lot of fun. And I think we talked about the offense winning day 1, defense winning day 2. I think it was pretty clear that defense won the second day, right? In terms of players, Shawn, for you, we saw Prince out there. We saw Travion Brown, who I think at this point, he's going to be a starter.
Yeah.
Like, I know depth charts aren't filled out or whatever, but this man is an absolute unit.
Yeah.
It bugs me that he wears number 82.
Very much so.
But and I told Shawn this at practice. He's a guy that makes a ridiculous like game-winning play.
Is he listed as a linebacker too?
Yes.
That's unfair.
He makes like a game-winning play. That hurts. And you see him on Sports Center, right? And you're like, oh, that's gross. Why is this
a wide receiver?
Yeah. Why is he wearing number 82? And he goes and does something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. And Kenny talked about him after practice. He was like, because obviously coming from Washington State, a guy that should have a little bit better of an understanding of the defense, the system.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Kenny said. Like he expects him to know it better and kind of help the rest of the team along. And so he's kind of become a leader in that sense, which is huge because the linebacker room is just so it's completely different than it was last year. Everyone left, including your captain.
But I think it's better.
No, yeah, I agree. And so like to have somebody that kind of has that leg up because they were a part of this defensive system already, like, is huge. To have somebody that kind of can establish themselves as a leader 3 days into spring ball because of his familiarity with the system, I think is going to be super valuable.
Establish themselves as a Libra.
Yeah. A libero.
Tate Romney too. No relation to Mitt.
That we know of.
That we know of. He looks good too out there, dude. Like he's
large,
quick. He looks athletic. I turned to Shawn and said he reminds me a lot of Kyle Sully, but a little bit more athletic. He moves, dude.
I have to say this because I know if I say it straight up, you're gonna make a comment about it. So I don't know any other way to put this, but I would say that size was the word of the day. Like, oh God.
What do you mean by that?
Well, now it's ruined.
What do I mean by that? What do I mean by size? Like,
yes, smooch.
This is gonna be real confused.
Shane,
why are you smooching?
There we go.
Okay, are you gonna explain it or no? You want to explain to the people why you just smooched?
Oh yeah, he told me if I made him laugh during the show, he'd give me a smooch. So he just smooched me.
Okay,
that was well done. That was very But
what do I mean by that? Like, there's
we have that. Wait, we have that locked and loaded now forever.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
What do you mean by that?
It's gonna get used so often.
Like we talked about on the defensive side with Romney, and like some obviously Rowe is tall and long. Some of the guys on the defensive line are big and long. Like, and then offensively, you talk about their third string tight end is 20 feet tall. He's like they're massive. It's
Bryce Pierre is a tall man.
He's a very tall.
There's a lot of tall men.
Yeah, but your shortest tight end.
Yes, he asked me. He's like, "Who's number 49 again?" I'm like, "Aaron Stansberry."
He's been here.
He's tall, dude.
He's quite tall, quite long. But yeah, it's like I mentioned. It's like imagine you are a team and something happens to Messiah and Jalen, and you get in like, oh, we're on the third string tight end, and it's 8 foot tall Bryce Pierre. Like, and this team is obviously going to be playing with so much energy and passion, but they're so athletic and they're so big. Is good. And especially offensively, when you look at what Oregon was last year, they won in the trenches. You got these big tight ends. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There is like you get up on the goal line and you run 3 tight end set with Pierre, Conyers.
Yeah, we were talking about running
Messiah
trips with tight ends
and you've
in
got
the red zone.
Scatabo in the backfield.
Dude, fucking shit.
You know what'd be terrifying? Screenplays in this offense.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Conyers, Coleman pulling the right tackle.
It's gonna be fun.
Isaiah Glass coming at you there. I mean, they're large. There's
Isaiah
no
Glass won his
fat
one-on-one
lineman
today.
on
They
this
are
team.
large and in charge.
Glass won his one-on-one today.
What?
Glass won. I forget
Nice.
who he went up against, but Glass won his one-on-one. My guy.
It's so much fun right now. ASU football. It's just a great time to be part of Arizona State right now, right? You've got obviously ASU football with the resurgence of like the football team in general. It's going to be exciting to see what happens. I think in the spring game is going to get a lot of people on board that are maybe a little hesitant, simply because they're not at practice, right? And they don't necessarily know what is going on.
Unbelievable.
They call the foul on
Charleston fouled on a 3 with the shot clock violation. It was not a foul.
Nevada right there. And then ASU basketball. Obviously, they're in a point where they can be a Cinderella team, right? So it's just exciting.
Listen, I say someone's got to be the Cinderella.
They better review that because that is not a foul.
Can they review it?
That was not even close to being a foul.
Shane is fully engulfed.
March.
I've turned it off. Yeah, Four Peaks.
Go ahead.
Four Peaks, best place to get some beer. I had a couple Four Peaks last night. As Leah would say, the hazies were flowing. They actually were. It was very, very good. Did you guys have beers last night?
I stuck to simply the tequila on a Wednesday night. Yeah.
I did not last night, but the other night when I went to the World Baseball Classic, had my first draft wow of the year at a baseball stadium, dude. Oh, it made my night. Made my month, to be honest. Going to spring training this weekend. Cannot wait to be sitting outside in the sun with a wow. Literally the best time to enjoy a beer.
Mm-hmm. It's so good. If you want to get some beer wherever you get your beers, you can get some Four Peaks.
Well done.
Fucking Charleston just ripped
your heart was ripped out, buddy.
No, I'm fine. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. Also, Octane Raceway. If you want to drive really fast, safely, you can do it at Octane. And Mavericks.
He's so sad.
Kart racing, virtual reality, laser tag, axe throwing, bowling, arcade, great food, and drinks. They've got it all.
Yeah, they do.
Their bag is deep.
Hey, Rhonda's here.
Deep bag.
What's up, Rhonda?
Oh, what's up, Rhonda?
What up, Rhonda? Bringing your spring. Also, if you bring in your spring ticket spring training ticket stub. That is tough to say.
Spring training ticket to
You get a free $10
Spring
game
training
card.
ticket stub.
Free $10 game card if you bring in your spring training ticket stub.
Spring training ticket stub?
Spring training ticket stub. Check out octaneraceway.com and mavericks.com to learn more. Hi, Dr. Sun Devil.
Dr. Sun Devil. Get it tattooed, honestly. Ron in the chat. Extend Bobby's contract. I mean, at this point.
Some may say.
Some may say.
Some may say the opposite.
That's true.
Not us. We're not those people.
Some may say, or one may say.
Some may say Charleston got cheated.
Did they call it a foul?
I turned it off. I don't know.
They are down 3 with 18 seconds left.
Look,
did they not call a foul?
I don't know.
I don't know. Any final thoughts on ASU basketball ahead of TCU, on Bobby Hurley, on ASU football? That we're gonna get to talk to the quarterbacks for the first time on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna have a show on Saturday, but stay locked in on social media because we'll have some stuff from that as well. Anything, guys, before we get out of here?
It's just a great time to be a Devil. I don't feel like I can't say it enough. It's a great time to be a Devil. Everything is looking up. Almost everything, at least. Extend everybody. Give them all the contracts.
Including us.
Give them the money.
Yes.
Especially us.
Mm-hmm. Especially us.
Especially Kent.
Yeah,
Yes.
give Kent money.
Give Kent money?
What do you think Kent would spend money on?
Diapers.
Ooh, that's good. I have something to end
football drills.
our show.
What?
Things to do football drills with.
Yeah.
I feel like Kent will live and breathe football forever.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna he's gonna be in college and he's gonna be a dog. Or he's like not gonna start freshman year, but he's gonna be a really vocal leader and he'll be like, that's coach's son. That's Ken Dillingham.
What about you? You were gonna say something.
Yeah, I have something we can end practice with. Oh no. End the show with.
We're ending
One-on-ones?
practice.
If you want to see one-on-ones, no, not us. If you want to see a one-on-one between anybody, who is it?
Between any two
Ooh.
people. It's hard to not say the one that we've been getting with
Troy
X
and
and
Isaiah.
and Isaiah. Who I really enjoyed. We got one of them. I'm trying to think of ones that we haven't seen because I really liked the one that we got of Jordan Clark versus Jalen in the first practice.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Just because Jordan is fearless, man. He's obviously small, but
I want to see.
he's fearless.
Give
He's
me
so strong.
Give me
Yeah.
Melquan and Rowe.
I like it.
I want to see those two at
I'm
it.
such a big fan.
Mhm.
Well,
He done had
y'all
good
gonna
saying.
y'all gonna learn
He
about
got
Melquan Stoll.
sticky hands.
He got hands. Also, another guy I need to shout out, Chad Johnson Jr., man.
He
Yeah.
got hands too.
His hands today looked amazing. He was making some really strong catches.
What do you mean by that?
We're gonna
There are-
abuse the
there
fuck out of that.
No, we don't need it.
There are we talked a little bit about it the other day. The number 3 spot at receiver. I
There's like 4 different guys
could
it could
not
be.
tell you who's going to be playing there because you got a guy in Gio Sanders who looks even better than he did last year in terms of route running. You got Melquan Stovall, who quite literally would not drop insert object here if it was thrown at him. Jake Smith, you've got a ton of guys. Chad Johnson Jr. Like, there are a bunch of guys that can all, in theory, contribute really, really well.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's anybody's guess. Guys, if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Toch. You can follow Shane at Shane D. You can follow Shawn DePause at Shawn_DePause.
Dancing as always.
We will be, do we have a watch party tomorrow? Potentially?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we're going to do a watch party for the ASU basketball TCU game tomorrow night. We may or may not be joined by Horne. We'll let you guys know on social media if he's going to stop by the studio. It's Horne. What's the rest of
Let
that?
me tell you all
No,
about
I
it.
hate that song.
It's
terrible.
look at
The kid's cute. Don't monetize him. We'll see you later.
Don't
the
monetize
kid.
him.
The kid monetized himself.
No, he didn't.
His mom monetized.
No,
him.
We'll see
she
you tomorrow.
didn't. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.